breaking news, internet sleuths, conspiracy theorists, and your nosy neighbors alike. Hold on to your keyboards, because Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping just got a twist so wild, even Hollywood writers would raise an eyebrow. A brand new witness has stepped out of the shadows, claiming that everything we thought we knew about the case is, well, laughably incomplete. Yes, that's right. What started as a high-profile missing person story has apparently been a meticulously orchestrated soap opera all along, and now someone claims to have seen the director's cut. Who's involved? Oh, just your usual cast of characters. Friends, confidants, and a few shadowy figures who allegedly whisper in private Zoom calls while sipping overpriced lattes. Could this witness really have seen secret messages, encrypted threats, and backroom deals that would make your jaw hit the floor? And if that's true, why did nobody else notice? Were we all too busy scrolling TikTok to see the chaos brewing behind closed doors? Tonight, we're diving headfirst into a world of betrayal, paranoia, and insider drama so twisted, even Netflix would say, okay, tone it down a little. But before we get to the juicy part, ask yourself this. Can anyone truly be trusted in Nancy Guthrie's inner circle? Or is everyone secretly auditioning for a crime thriller we didn't sign up to watch? So here's the thing, folks. If you thought the Nancy Guthrie story couldn't get any juicier, buckle up, because the plot just did a triple backflip into full-blown chaos. This new witness, whose identity is being guarded like the crown jewels, claims they saw everything. Secret meetings, private calls, digital messages disappearing into the void faster than your Wi-Fi during a Zoom call. And apparently, these aren't just casual observations. They're roadmaps to a betrayal that makes Game of Thrones look like a kindergarten play. Let's start with the obvious suspects, because yes, we always have to start at home. Savannah Guthrie, Nancy's longtime confidant, has been floating in this story like a ghost in a very expensive mansion. You remember Savannah, right? The picture of poise, calm, and that I'm above drama aura that fooled literally everyone. Well, insiders say she noticed things months ago. Strange logins to shared drives, unexplained phone activity, cryptic messages deleted just as quickly as they appeared. Savannah allegedly tried to alert the powers that be, only to be met with shrugs, sighs, and probably a calm down, Karen moment. According to a leaked note supposedly penned by Savannah herself, she wrote, "Something isn't right. I feel it coming, but no one believes me." And suddenly, that polite, professional composure looks more like someone tiptoeing through a minefield she can't quite warn anyone about. Then there's Tommaso Cioni, the man whose name alone apparently makes people check their emails twice. You know the type, powerful, influential, and with just enough charm to convince you that everything is fine, right before the rug is pulled out from under you. Sources claim Tommaso had private disputes with Nancy over digital access, finances, and what insiders are calling control points. And by control points, we're talking about access to emails, devices, maybe even the password to her smart fridge. Because why stop at your average betrayal when you can weaponize Alexa, right? The drama, according to sources, had been simmering for months, like a pot of tea left on the stove until it boiled over in one chaotic, unforgettable night. According to this new witness, the night Nancy vanished wasn't some random act of misfortune. No. This was planned with precision so surgical, you'd think it came straight out of a heist movie directed by Christopher Nolan, except with more spreadsheets and encrypted files. The evening supposedly began with what appeared to be a normal gathering at Nancy's estate. Candles, wine, polite chatter, check. But then whispers, hushed arguments, and cryptic phrases started floating through the air. One insider allegedly heard someone mutter, "If this goes wrong, no one walks away clean." The staff reportedly left early, sensing the storm that was about to hit, because even professional caterers know when the night has gone from dinner party to disaster in 5 minutes. And just when you thought it couldn't get more cinematic, surveillance footage allegedly shows a shadowy figure approaching Nancy's private quarters. But here's the kicker. Sources claim it wasn't some random stranger lurking in the night. It was someone she trusted, someone who had keys, codes, and probably the Wi-Fi password. Friends later reviewed recovered messages and allegedly found coded instructions, threats and ultimatums being passed back and forth in plain sight, proving that this wasn't an impulsive crime. It was meticulously choreographed. Social media immediately went wild, because of course it did. Fans noticed Nancy's sudden breaks in posts, cryptic captions, and fleeting shadows in live streams, all now pointing to a carefully orchestrated plan that had everyone fooled until now. And let's talk digital forensics, because apparently we live in a world where your phone and cloud drives are more telling than your own diary. Investigators, according to sources, are piecing together thousands of hours of video, digital footprints, and suspicious logins. The backpack supposedly left at the scene could have been bought on eBay. Those texts that vanished into thin air, now being recovered with specialized software. Every click, swipe, and keystroke allegedly tracked to build a full picture of who knew what, when, and why. Digital breadcrumbs, my friends, and apparently some people stepped on them like an overexcited toddler in a cookie aisle. The witness claims that even before the fateful night, tensions were leaking into public appearances. Fans and journalists noticed fleeting expressions of fear, awkward pauses in interviews, and whispers that didn't belong. Were these signs of paranoia or subtle alarms? Sources say these were warning lights, flashing quietly before the inevitable crash. And now, with a new witness stepping forward, the shadows that once concealed the truth are supposedly dissolving, layer by layer. Secret meetings, hidden messages, and calculated maneuvers are allegedly being exposed, painting a picture of betrayal so intricate that even veteran investigators were allegedly leaning back in disbelief at the audacity. The chaos didn't stop there. According to leaked insider information, there were allegedly multiple devices used to monitor Nancy in real time. Calls, texts, locations, all meticulously tracked by someone with direct access. A forensic expert, speaking off the record, supposedly said, "We're seeing activity that only someone on the inside could execute. It's terrifying." And here's the real kicker. Certain individuals who publicly expressed concern were allegedly complicit in spreading confusion, manipulating evidence, and creating digital smokescreens to throw investigators off the scent. One screenshot supposedly instructed, "Make it look like she left on her own. No one suspects us." The public, of course, exploded. Hashtags like #NanceKidnapping, #BetrayalExposed, and #InsideJob reportedly went viral within hours. Social media users dissected every post, every interview, every subtle glance Nancy had made in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. Cryptic tweets, awkward smiles, nervous glances. Nothing went unnoticed. Amateur detectives and influencers alike were suddenly experts in cybersecurity, surveillance, and human behavior, all trying to piece together a puzzle that insiders claim had been months in the making. Meanwhile, the story allegedly began to touch even higher echelons. Business partners supposedly paused collaborations, executives quietly convened Zoom meetings, and people who once called Nancy an icon allegedly started asking each other, "Wait, who knew what and when?" One anonymous insider reportedly said, "This isn't just a scandal. It's a warning to everyone in the industry." Celebrities, of course, had mixed reactions. Some posted heartfelt support, others mysteriously silent, fueling speculation and conspiracy theories that ranged from the classic insider betrayal to full-blown corporate espionage. And then, in what might be the most shocking turn yet, investigators allegedly recovered files that were thought to be harmless, but instead contained audio and video clips revealing secret meetings and plans. The footage supposedly included conversations about controlling narratives, manipulating evidence, and even creating fake alibis. In one chilling snippet, someone allegedly says, "If anyone finds out, it's the end for all of us," followed by the cold response, "We control the story, and the truth dies here." Can you imagine? A whole criminal strategy being executed like a corporate PowerPoint presentation, except with higher stakes and zero room for error. By this point, social media apparently exploded again. Fans dissected timestamps, screenshots, and video frames, searching for hidden meanings. Analysts, insiders, and amateur sleuths debated endlessly, questioning every subtle expression, cryptic phrase, or deleted post. Meanwhile, authorities allegedly seized additional devices from seemingly unrelated locations, hinting at a far larger network of co-conspirators than anyone could have imagined. A shadow web operating behind the scenes, influencing events, manipulating perception, and controlling the narrative in a way the public would never have suspected. And here's where it gets truly cinematic. According to forensic experts, only a fraction of these files have been decrypted. Hundreds more allegedly remain locked under encryption, so complex that even the FBI reportedly admitted it could take months, or years, to fully unlock. Sources claim that when the rest of these files are revealed, they could expose names, motives, and secrets that would shock the entire nation. Suddenly, the question isn't just who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. It's how deep does this network really go, and who else is hiding in the shadows? So, as investigators work tirelessly to piece together this labyrinthine conspiracy, one thing is clear. This is no longer just a kidnapping story. It's a sprawling narrative of betrayal, paranoia, and premeditated manipulation. Friends, confidants, and even family members, people we assumed were trustworthy, are now allegedly implicated in a scheme so elaborate, it makes you wonder if reality itself has been hacked. And just when you thought it couldn't possibly get any darker, the witness reportedly claims that some of the so-called allies were actively creating digital smokescreens to confuse investigators. Emails vanished, messages were encrypted, and financial transactions allegedly disguised as routine purchases. Even the mundane details, like a backpack supposedly purchased at Walmart, might have been a red herring, bought through third-party platforms to throw the scent off completely. Every move, every decision, every seemingly insignificant detail was allegedly orchestrated to perfection. So, as the dust barely settled from the first revelations, this new witness allegedly dropped a bombshell that had authorities, insiders, and yes, social media detectives alike collectively losing their minds. According to sources, the witness claims they weren't just observing. They were embedded, seeing firsthand how Nancy's so-called friends and allies allegedly coordinated, manipulated, and schemed while smiling politely in public. You know the type, smiling at brunch while secretly plotting like it's a high-stakes episode of Big Brother. The witness reportedly described private meetings so clandestine, they make James Bond look like an amateur. Encrypted messages were allegedly exchanged via apps nobody outside the circle had ever heard of, complete with self-destructing photos and coded emojis. One insider allegedly told investigators, it was like watching a chess game in real life. Except the queen we all trusted suddenly disappeared, and no one knew who moved the pieces. According to sources, these weren't casual disagreements either. No, they were tactical moves, each one calculated to isolate Nancy, manipulate perceptions, and control access to her communications. And let's talk financial drama, because apparently, what's a betrayal without money being involved? Investigators allegedly uncovered evidence of lavish spending that didn't match anyone's reported income. One anonymous tipster allegedly said, they weren't just spending, they were flaunting it. Private jets, designer suits, weekend getaways, all while pretending everything was normal. It was meant to distract, to confuse, to make everyone think, how could anyone kidnap someone when they seem this untouchable? Meanwhile, the witness claims that some of these transactions were linked to shell companies, supposedly creating a labyrinth of money trails deliberately designed to hide real intentions. And it doesn't stop there. Digital forensics allegedly revealed that multiple people had remote access to Nancy's accounts. Emails, private messages, and even calendar entries were allegedly monitored and altered. One forensic analyst reportedly said, it's like someone had the master key to her digital life. Every move was being tracked, every communication monitored, and every plan potentially intercepted. Friends and family were apparently unaware that their own words and actions were being used as tools in a much bigger, far more sinister operation. Meanwhile, the public, as you can imagine, went absolutely bananas. Hashtags such as hashtag Nancy Inside Job, hashtag Hidden Traders, and hashtag GuthrieGate reportedly trended worldwide. Fans and amateur detectives scrutinized everything from old interviews to Instagram posts, dissecting subtle pauses, nervous smiles, and cryptic phrases that suddenly took on a whole new meaning. One viral post allegedly read, "If this wasn't planned, why does every clue lead back inside her circle?" And that post reportedly racked up hundreds of thousands of likes within hours, with users adding their own detective notes like it was some crowdsourced Sherlock Holmes mission. Sources claim the witness revealed that some members of Nancy's inner circle actively misled investigators. Fake alibis, false leads, and planted evidence allegedly created a smoke and mirrors game designed to keep the truth hidden. Private messages obtained by the witness reportedly contained instructions such as, "Confuse them, misdirect them, and make it look like she left voluntarily. If anyone asks, deny everything." The witness allegedly described the scene as a network of insiders all working together, coordinating deception like a meticulously choreographed heist. Now, the witness didn't stop there. They allegedly shared that some of the conspirators had even tampered with public appearances. Subtle cues, carefully placed pauses, and staged interactions were reportedly designed to create the illusion that everything was fine, that Nancy's disappearance was a random tragedy rather than the culmination of a months-long, carefully orchestrated plan. It was psychological warfare, the witness allegedly said. Every smile, every nod, every handshake was a move in the game. And apparently, this psychological manipulation extended far beyond Nancy. Friends, colleagues, and even fans were unknowingly being fed false narratives to protect the insiders. According to leaked details, the witness also claims that law enforcement was blindsided. While the public saw frantic searches, task force involvement, and press conferences, the real drama was allegedly happening behind closed doors. Investigators reportedly discovered a network of encrypted files containing not just messages, but voice recordings, location data, and video clips documenting interactions with Nancy and her associates. The witness allegedly said, "I saw the files myself. Names, dates, conversations, all meticulously documented. It's not just a kidnapping, it's a network of betrayal." And because this is the internet, of course, the moment the news broke, conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Reddit threads, Twitter threads, TikTok commentary, everyone suddenly became a detective. "It's the son-in-law," one theorist allegedly claimed. "No, it's a corporate insider," another insisted. The witness, however, reportedly said that the scope was far bigger, involving multiple people who had the perfect combination of access, influence, and discretion. "It's like a spiderweb," they allegedly said. "You tug at one thread, and everything shakes." But the financial stakes weren't just for show. According to the witness, confidential accounts, hidden investments, and shadowy transfers were all being manipulated to cover tracks. There were millions moving under the radar, the witness allegedly said. Luxury purchases, offshore accounts, even charitable donations, all part of a plan to distract and confuse. Some insiders reportedly whispered about possible blackmail, payoffs, and threats designed to silence anyone who might reveal too much. The alleged network wasn't just hiding a crime, it was actively controlling the narrative, the perception, and potentially the public's reaction. And as if this wasn't enough, the witness allegedly claimed that Nancy's personal devices were compromised long before her disappearance. Phones, laptops, and cloud drives were allegedly accessed by unknown parties, allowing them to monitor her communications in real time. Every conversation, every meeting, every casual remark was allegedly tracked. According to forensic experts, this required a level of digital sophistication that is frightening, even for seasoned investigators. One supposedly told reporters, "We've never seen anything like this. It's like someone had complete, covert access to her life." Meanwhile, social media wasn't just reacting, it was speculating. Fans and influencers allegedly started putting together timelines, screenshots, and supposed evidence that traced back months before the disappearance. Past interviews, deleted tweets, and cryptic captions suddenly became smoking guns. Every awkward glance, every nervous laugh, one viral post claimed, was a sign of what was coming. Wake up, people. And naturally, this fueled a divide. Team Justice demanding answers, Team Doubt defending the accused, and Team Conspiracy theorizing about shadowy puppet masters controlling the entire drama. Now let's add some spice. The witness allegedly stated that some of the insiders didn't just observe, they actively coordinated fake leads, tampered with evidence, and manipulated digital footprints to frame people outside the inner circle. They allegedly left traces pointing toward random individuals, while the real players orchestrated everything behind the scenes. One insider allegedly wrote, "If anyone thinks they're seeing the truth, they're wrong. Everything is a distraction." Suddenly, the investigation wasn't just complicated, it was a labyrinth of deception designed to mislead authorities and the public alike. And as part 2 wraps up, because yes, there's still more chaos waiting, you have to appreciate the audacity. The witness allegedly confirms that not only was Nancy being monitored, manipulated, and isolated, but the insiders were allegedly planning the next moves even as investigators scrambled. Every piece of evidence, every financial transaction, every digital footprint was allegedly being controlled to maintain power, protect themselves, and keep the truth buried. And if what this witness claims is even halfway accurate, the fallout could be catastrophic. Friends turning against friends, secrets exposed, reputations shredded, and maybe even criminal charges for people no one suspected. The storm isn't over, the web isn't fully untangled, and the next revelations could make everything we've just uncovered seem like child's play. Hold on to your seats, because Part 3 promises to expose hidden players, encrypted messages, and secret files that could finally answer the question everyone is asking: who really pulled the strings in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance? So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the point where the Nancy Guthrie saga allegedly reaches levels of chaos that even seasoned investigators reportedly described as mind-blowing. According to the new witness, the hidden files and encrypted communications reveal players we never suspected, motives that make your head spin, and a level of coordination that reads more like a Hollywood thriller than a real-life investigation. Sources claim that some insiders weren't just accomplices, they were orchestrators, people embedded in Nancy's inner circle who allegedly manipulated events for months. The witness allegedly described secret meetings in luxury penthouses, private Zoom rooms, and even hotel suites booked under fake names. One tip allegedly said, they weren't just planning a disappearance. They were planning a narrative, a story that no one would question until it was too late. And apparently, they almost pulled it off, because let's face it, who would suspect a trusted confidant or a longtime friend? According to the witness, encrypted messages were sent hours before Nancy's disappearance, outlining precise movements, locations, and contingencies. One supposed message allegedly read, "Everything goes as planned. She won't see it coming." Another warned, "If anyone interferes, we adjust the story immediately." Investigators reportedly confirmed the messages existed and were traced to multiple devices, all controlled by people supposedly closest to Nancy. Friends and associates, who publicly appeared distraught and helpful, were allegedly keeping secrets and playing a dangerous game behind everyone's back. The witness reportedly revealed that financial manipulation played a central role. Hidden accounts, shell companies, and suspicious transactions allegedly funneled money to maintain the cover-up. Investigators allegedly traced payments for private investigators, falsified security footage, and even consulting fees that may have been used to silence potential whistleblowers. One anonymous insider allegedly said they had money for everything: equipment, bribes, distractions. It was like watching a criminal empire unfold in real time. And apparently, some of the most trusted figures in Nancy's life weren't just participants. They were the puppet masters, pulling strings from behind a polished veneer of respectability. Digital forensics allegedly uncovered a level of surveillance that borders on dystopian. According to sources, multiple people had access to Nancy's devices: phones, laptops, cloud accounts, even smart home systems. Every message, location ping, and email was reportedly monitored. One forensic analyst allegedly told the press, "We've never seen anything so coordinated. It's not just a kidnapping, it's a full-scale operation with real-time intelligence." The witness allegedly confirmed that this surveillance wasn't just for control, It was for precision. Every step Nancy took, every meeting she attended, every phone call she made was cataloged, analyzed, and potentially manipulated. Social media, of course, exploded as these revelations allegedly started leaking. Hashtags like #GuthrieInsideJob, #TrustNoOne, and #ShadowNetwork reportedly trended worldwide. Fans, influencers, and amateur detectives dissected past interviews, cryptic tweets, and even seemingly innocuous Instagram stories, searching for clues. One viral post allegedly claimed, "If this wasn't planned, why does every trail point inside?" And naturally, this fueled arguments, speculation, and public obsession with uncovering the truth. Suddenly, everyone had a theory, and everyone thought they were a digital Sherlock Holmes. The witness allegedly described additional explosive details. Some insiders were actively spreading misinformation to authorities. Fake tips, staged evidence, and misleading narratives allegedly created confusion, keeping investigators chasing shadows. Private messages allegedly obtained by the witness reportedly contained instructions like, confuse them, make them doubt, make it look like she left voluntarily. And apparently, this strategy worked for weeks, until the witness stepped forward to blow the lid off the entire operation. Now, let's talk about public appearances. According to sources, some insiders were allegedly controlling Nancy's public persona in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. Subtle cues, strategic pauses, and even orchestrated interactions were reportedly intended to create the illusion of calm, stability, and normalcy. It was psychological warfare, the witness allegedly said. Every smile, every handshake, every staged photo was a move in a larger game. Nancy's life became a performance without her even knowing it. And the chilling part? Friends, colleagues, and even fans were unwitting participants in this elaborate ruse. Then there's the explosive detail about hidden servers and encrypted drives. The witness allegedly claims that confidential records, personal correspondence, and sensitive files were stored in secret locations, accessible only to certain insiders. One supposedly contains audio recordings and video clips documenting meetings, conversations, and instructions. One leaked snippet allegedly captured someone saying, "We control the story. The truth dies here." Another reportedly responded, "If anyone finds out, it's the end for all of us." The audacity, the precision, and the scope of these operations allegedly shocked even veteran investigators. Financial intrigue reportedly escalates further. According to sources, insider accounts, shadowy transfers, and luxury purchases were allegedly linked to the cover-up. Private jets, hotel suites, designer clothing. Money was allegedly flowing to ensure silence, maintain appearances, and execute a flawless plan. One anonymous tipster allegedly said, "They were flaunting it, and they knew we wouldn't suspect them. It was distraction as strategy." And if that weren't enough, some of the funds reportedly went to bribing individuals to ensure alibis and misinformation campaigns, creating an impenetrable web of deception. The witness allegedly described a series of last-minute instructions delivered just hours before Nancy's disappearance. Messages, calls, and face-to-face meetings allegedly coordinated every movement, every exit, and every contingency. Everything had to be perfect, the witness allegedly said. One slip, and the entire operation could collapse. And according to insiders, that perfection extended to manipulating evidence. Deleted texts, altered timestamps, and tampered location data ensured that the trail looked random, chaotic, and almost impossible to decipher. And now the fallout. According to the witness, authorities were allegedly blindsided by the audacity and sophistication of the plan. Investigators reportedly leaned back in disbelief, realizing that what appeared to be a straightforward kidnapping was allegedly the tip of a sprawling, meticulously planned conspiracy. Social media erupted, fans demanded answers, and insiders reportedly scrambled to contain the damage. Some friends and associates allegedly began distancing themselves, worried that their own names would surface in the files yet to be decrypted. The witness allegedly claims that certain high-profile figures, previously considered uninvolved, were actually deeply embedded in the operation. One anonymous insider reportedly said, This is bigger than anyone realizes. People you trust, people you admire, were pulling strings while the public was distracted by headlines and viral posts. Suddenly, the story escalates from a missing person case to a national scandal, exposing betrayal, manipulation, and power dynamics that allegedly go far beyond Nancy's immediate circle. And here's the cherry on top. The witness allegedly confirmed that hundreds of files remain encrypted, hidden, and inaccessible. Investigators reportedly warned that when these are decrypted, the revelations could shock the entire nation. Hidden alliances, financial manipulations, secret communications, and direct evidence of betrayal allegedly lie within, waiting to upend reputations, careers, and perhaps even legal standings. The next update, insiders claim, won't just add to the story, it could rewrite everything we thought we knew. So, as we wrap up this third part of the saga, here's what you need to take away. According to sources and this explosive new witness, Nancy Guthrie's disappearance was allegedly not random, not chaotic, and certainly not unsolved by accident. Every detail, every movement, every person close to her allegedly played a role in a web of deception so intricate that it makes even the most elaborate crime dramas look amateurish. The witness paints a picture of betrayal, manipulation, and coordination that allegedly involved friends, confidants, insiders, and possibly even public figures whose names haven't yet been revealed. In short, the Nancy Guthrie story allegedly escalates beyond a kidnapping into a sprawling saga of psychological manipulation, digital espionage, financial deception, and a betrayal that cuts to the very core of trust. And the files that remain locked, encrypted, and hidden may contain the ultimate revelations, the identities, motives, and plans of everyone involved. The public is left asking questions that have no easy answers. Who can really be trusted? How many people were involved? And perhaps most importantly, how deep does this conspiracy go? According to this witness, the truth is bigger, darker, and far more shocking than anything we've seen so far. And as law enforcement, insiders, and amateur detectives scramble to make sense of it all, one thing is crystal clear. The story isn't just unfolding, it's exploding, and the next revelations could change everything.